I have a bad feeling about this, Chewie. I'm gonna keep doing these silly intros. Anyway, told you I'd be back. Now, let's cut to the chase. Star Wars. Pretty sure you heard of it. It's this little indie thing. It started a long time ago. It has a bit of a small following. It's a subject you've heard about, talked about to death, and that's going to be part of what I want to say. When I was a kid, I was a big Star Wars guy. Well, kid anyway. You get my point. I loved building little Lego sets. I like Lego sets in general, but the Star Wars ones were always probably my favorite. Until Bionicles came. I miss Bionicles. And, and as a kid, while not knowing better, I enjoyed the prequel films. I've gotten older and realized that they're what they are, which are not very good, but I just had so much fun. I played with toys, I watched the movies, I played games. Trust me and my friends all had toy lightsabers, and we all beat the crap out of each other with them. Childhood, it's what you do. But in the last few years, something happened. I got less interested in Star Wars. And it wasn't what you're thinking. It wasn't, Clone Wars. I never watched Clone Wars, but I know a bunch of people who got sick of Star Wars because of, the prequel sucked. That doesn't make me hate something I liked already. Yeah, you made some bad movies. Okay. There's a bunch of bad comics made. It doesn't mean I don't necessarily hate a character because of some bad comics. Oh, the special editions keep ruining the original films. Well, I'll agree there's no need for them. I still think the magic of those movies is still there. Oh, Disney buying them. Okay, Disney hasn't really ruined anything. It hasn't ruined Marvel. Oh, but the Expanded Universe is canceled now. Really? The Expanded Universe, everyone that keeps acting like the Expanded Universe is just going to fade away, but I'm sad to tell you, the books will still exist. They might get harder to find, but they'll still exist. This may shock you. When something's canceled, they don't track down every remnant of it and destroy it. Sure, some people accuse George Lucas of doing that, but we'll probably talk about that a little. My point is, all of the negativity surrounding it, not the things that cause the negativity. And don't get me wrong, I justify with you if you have any problems with the prequels, with the remasters, with Clone Wars, with anything. A lot of the time the complaints are justified. Complaints are justified in anything. But here's the thing you people need to realize about me. I don't like people who whine. They could have the most justified thing in the world, but whining equals annoying most of the time, and I tend to side with something that annoys me more. So therefore, if you're whining, I'm going to not like you more. Are we getting a gist here? Are you and me connecting? I don't know why I decided to keep doing these on camera, but I'm still going. So, for a while, I just didn't want to talk about Star Wars anymore. I just felt like it only led to people being negative about it, and whenever people got negative about it, it was sort of rehashing things that have been said for almost 2 decades now. Many people know, red letter media and all that. I think they did the definitive, we'll just cite that source because at the end of the day, everyone keeps going back to that same source and rehashing. That's the thing about all the complaints surrounding Star Wars. It's just the same exact things being complained about over and over again. I feel the repetitiveness of it, therefore I get annoyed. And like I said a bit ago, if I'm annoyed with something, I'm not siding with you. So it wasn't Star Wars that made me dislike Star Wars. It was a lot of fans who made me dislike Star Wars. And so, I was kind of numb to a lot of anything that came out of it. Didn't follow Clone Wars. That kind of came out of the point where I kind of started to see everyone complain about it over and over and over again, and I just didn't want to deal with it at all. Got into comics. I knew Dark Horse, you know, until October. Dark Horse has had a long reign with the franchise. This is the only book I have near me. Well, I have more around me, but this one's at the top, so that's I'll talk a little about it maybe. And then I heard Disney bought Star Wars, and I'm thinking, well, it didn't affect me much because I remember when Disney bought Marvel, and for the most part, nothing really bad's come out of that. Anything that's bad is Marvel's decisions, not Disney's decisions. So, I got nothing to say to that. And, you know, episode 7 was plugging along, and you started hearing it, you know, Han, Leia, and Luke will be coming back, and oh, Abrams is directing it. I don't have anything to say to that because I just don't care. And I can't tell you why. I can't. I just can't, but something happened. I think this is going to sound really weird, but I think with the announcement that the expanded universe is being entirely ignored for the new movies, you can kind of say that announcement kind of wanted me to get back into it again. Here's why. Because when something when something happens, and this is just a smart thing to do, a lot of people will try and kind of bank off that hype. And I'm making it sound worse than what it is, but basically, okay, now that people are kind of hearing about the expanded universe, maybe people don't know about it. So what happens? You get a lot of people talking about it. And I started to read a lot of it, and it got me interested in the expanded universe and in Star Wars again. So, yeah. And it started this little spark where I kind of, you know, I happened across this, which these are kind of rare. These because these were the 30th anniversary collections. This is for the miniseries Union. I happened to find this cheap at my used bookstore. And, you know, this sort of started the spark. Well, another spark. I keep saying that. Sorry. And, like, admittedly, I kind of had some interest still. It was sort of really thin. I have these. Star Wars Legacy, the first Legacy. I know there's another one going on right now. These were fun, but I think my disinterest and plus my inability to collect things. This is only the first 5 volumes. I'm selling these off to the same bookstore I got this at, and I'm getting the new hardcover collections of the entire series. But this was nice. This kind of went back to the vibe of the old movies. Then something happened. I lucked out, and you know, like basically, let me give you an insight into how my Saturdays work. I like to go to downtown a lot, like downtown area of this beautiful city I live in. And there's a lot of nice local shops. There's a nice local bookshop, like I mentioned, and there's a local video game shop. And in addition to video games, they also sell DVDs and movies and all that. And I had kind of cleared out a bunch of games that I either wasn't going to play or hadn't played at all. Got a good amount of store credit, and the place had these, which, you know, after store credit came to like $9 buying. And also, the pawn shop next door had the other one. And yes, these aren't, you know, these are the special edition. I've tried looking. Once in a while, I've seen what the limited edition with the theatrical cuts go for, and just a bit too rich for my blood. And also, the special editions don't bug me all that much. Yeah, they're not great, but basically my opinion on that sums up as simple. Lucas has more than the right to do what he wants. It was his franchise. He can make whatever he wants to do with it. I think the only really annoying part about it was that he tried to force these on you when people just wanted to see the originals. That's the thing about it that bugs me, is he wasn't giving you a choice. He was giving you something that people didn't necessarily want. That's the thing that bugs me. But I've watched these. Well, don't get me wrong. I've watched Star Wars a couple times in the last few years because Spike TV reruns it every other frickin' week, I think. But you know, I got these, and I was generally happy. I haven't been happy with Star Wars in a long time. So that sparked now this big flame. In addition to the things I've shown you, I also happened across more of this stuff. I can't figure out cameras. That's Darth Vader. Twice. Also, I got my hands on this thing. I did not get... the pictures of the dust cover on that eBay auction didn't really show you the flaws, but I'm okay. It's just a dust jacket. But basically, what I'm saying is, I have learned to enjoy Star Wars again. I hope the internet doesn't try and destroy that like it did before. Don't get me wrong, the internet is a very powerful creature that will destroy your joy in anything. But I'm going to fight to love Star Wars again. Try and stop me. Pew, 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 pew.